Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Saturday and as usual I've been to my Slimming World group. I got a favourable result with which I'm very happy, but first of all I'll share with you how I got that result. I had said at the start of my video last week that I would stick to my usual 1 or 2 A choices, 1 or 2 B choices and 5 to 10 sins. What I actually did was I had 1 A and 1 B choice for 2 days this week, 1 A and 2 B choices for 2 days this week, and 2 A and 2 B choices for the final 3 days this week. Also this week I've found that with my breakfast on 3 days I've included an extra egg. I already have 2 eggs, and on 3 days this week I've actually had 3 eggs. Listening to my body, for some strange reason I think my body was asking for more protein, so I went with it. I'm loving this way of actually trying to learn to listen to my body and its needs. And when I feel something like that, to actually have the confidence within this plan to go with it, instead of saying, oh, I shouldn't be eating that much, I'm on a diet. Reminding myself that actually I'm not on a diet, it's a lifestyle that I'm living, and it's working for me thus far. So although on some days this week I may appear to eat a little more than others, it's always within plan, it's always within my boundaries of 3 meals a day, nothing in between, and I stop eating at 6 p.m. after my dinner. And yeah, it feels comfortable, I'm never hungry, and I have bags of energy. My result this week was a £1 loss, and that's taken me back on the last weigh-in of the month to the place I was at on the first weigh-in of the month. So I am 9 stone 6.5 pounds, which is 7.5 pounds under target. And again, I would say, you know, my group leader reminds me I can move my target. I could drop my target to 9.5 stone today, but I have no desire to do that. And I've been trying to analyse this week why I don't want to do that, because there is definitely a stubbornness in me that doesn't want to do it. And it's not because I don't believe I could maintain this weight, because I'm doing it comfortably. But I think what it is an old fault in me. If somebody tells me I can't do something or I can't have something, there's an element in me that rebels. Now, Slimming World say to me, with my current target at 10 stone, I can drop to 9 stone 11, or I can go up as far as 10 stone 3. And I actually feel restricted with that. Now, it's a generous boundary, it's a £7 weight area, so it's generous enough, and I do believe that Slimming World principles are correct in doing that. So because I'm under and out of the bottom of my target, I actually pay to attend group, which I've said before doesn't bother me. Fully appreciate why Slimming World do it, and I fully agree with them doing it. I'm not criticising their motives or their intentions or anything like that. What I am saying is it's something within me that doesn't like to be given restriction, and it feels like that. So I'm actually in a better position to be freely in control of my weight and still hovering around the same place, feeling comfortable in my skin, feeling very comfortable in my clothes, and feeling no pressure to stay here. It's a freedom to stay here, it's not a pressure. So from thinking about it this week, that's the conclusion I've come to. And that's why I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing and see where it takes me. Because this is a journey, and I'm still on the journey, and praise God, I'll be on this journey for the rest of my life. I'm going to say again that it was a fabulous group. It was. We had 166 people through the 2 groups this morning. I think we had 4 new members again today. Brilliant group. And what we talked about, the main part of the meeting before image therapy, was losing weight in May. Other groups may well be talking about the same thing this week, or have talked about the same thing this week. But lots of people were committing to losing weight in May. I am committing to remaining within my own little target, staying here around where I'm at and doing my own thing. I'm not desperate to lose any more weight. I don't want to gain any more weight. I'm happy to move around within the same 1 or 2 pounds and love being here. So Naomi said to us, stay on plan every day for May, and that includes weigh day. And that's something we talk about quite a lot in group. We're very much encouraged not to go away on weigh day and have a binge because we've had a gain and we feel bad about it. And we're very encouraged not to go away and have a binge because we've had a loss and we feel good about it. Because I could do either of those things, in all seriousness. Naomi encourages us that our new week starts the minute we walk out of the group. And a lot of people are starting to believe in that. And I do believe in this plan. Joe and I were talking the other day about, why I believe this plan works for me. It's because I have faith in it, and I really do truly believe that this is the right way of life for me. So I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing. Oh, I forgot to say my mileage for the week was 23.55, which was down about 9 miles on last week, only because of time constraints. We did get a good walk, 9.25 miles yesterday, and I did dance all night at a Billy Ocean concert, and I think that would have clocked up at least another 10,000 steps. So I finished the day before the concert on 19,977 steps, and I reckon I'd have clocked up another 10,000 dancing last night. So that's probably where the £1 loss came from. I must dance more often. Been blessed this week, and want to say a very, very sincere thank you to a lovely lady from Boston, Massachusetts, who has become a friend to me on this channel. That's Laurie and her lovely husband, Michael. Thank you. You blessed my socks off this week. I am truly, truly grateful. And we were really moved, weren't we, Joe?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, Joe has now been renamed Trader Joe, and Laurie will know why. Yeah, we've had a good week. Joe's had a very, very busy week, which has left me with some time on my hands. And because I have surplus energy these days, I've used that time wisely. And I've done a lot of stuff in the house that wouldn't ordinarily get done. So yeah, things are feeling good. The house is feeling clean and tidy. The laundry's all up to date. The beds are changed. And now we can have a day tomorrow of doing just what we want to do. And I was going to say we can do the same on Bank Holiday Monday, but Joe's actually working. So I'll find something nice to do on Bank Holiday Monday. Hope everybody has a good weekend and a good extended weekend. Right, a little thing I want to show to you, which is one of my go-to staples. I love sushi. This little pack of sushi, is that in camera, Joe?
Yeah, well, sorry, I'll hold it.
Joe, do it. This little pack of sushi is one of my absolute go-to favourites. Have it back? In it, there are 4 small sushis which are vegetarian. They have cucumber and peppers in. And there's one of the big ones, which is tuna. And this little pack is, to me, it's more than a snack. I might have a bowl of soup and 2 of these for my lunch and some fruit. These are £1.57, and it's weighty. It's 1 sin. This is a Waitrose one. I think Marks and Spencer's do a 1 sin one, but it's not as nice as this. This one is really nice. And we've been looking at the sushi in Waitrose this week because they do some incredible sushi. And we even found one really big pack with about 15 different pieces in it. It was only 8 sins. And as somebody who really enjoys sushi, I'm always excited how much you can get for the good sin values. I mean, 1 sin for that beats 2 Mikados in my book. I don't have a sweet tooth, so I would go savoury anyway. But for filling power, 1 sin, there's nothing much better than that. Love it. Did I say it's £1.57, which I still think is a fair price. Yeah. In group this morning, I was there quite early because I got a lift from one of the other members, and I was sitting talking to a lady who got to Target about a month ago, and I've not really had much in the way of conversation with her before. But she came and sat next to me and we had a coffee together, and she asked me a question. She said, now that you've been at Target for a long time, I mean, I've been at Target for 17 months, 16, 17 months, something like that. Now that you've been at Target for a long time, do you eat like a normal person? And I was speechless in a way that I just couldn't think of a immediate answer. Not often I'm speechless. I just couldn't think of an immediate answer. I wanted to say no, I don't. But I knew I needed to qualify that. So do I eat like a normal person? What I said back to her initially was, I don't think I know what a normal person eats. What is normal? Quite often when Joe and I go shopping, I'm a nosy Parker. Because I don't have sight, I will say to Joe, tell me what's in some of the other trolleys in this payment queue. And Joe used to say to me, don't be so nosy. And I said, God, if I could see, I would just look, wouldn't I? But I can't just do that. Be my eyes and tell me what are in other people's trolleys. I don't know them from Adam. I'm not judging them. I'm just interested. And we were in Tesco earlier in the week in town, and I said to Joe, what's the lady got in a trolley in front of us? And he started to list some of the stuff in the lady's trolley. Openly, she would have heard us, I'm sure. And he started with like what Joe called chocolate yogurts, but we've since talked about it and discovered there's something like the Cadbury's chocolate, what did you call them?
Pots of joy.
Pots of joy, but I think they're probably the Tesco's version. And she had crisps, and she had white bread and other stuff. And often Joe will say, oh, these people have got, you know, biscuits and white bread and cake and pizzas and pastries and
some good stuff sometimes, some fruit and veg.
Yeah, and it's a good mixture in a lot of people's trolleys, isn't it?
Mm.
But it often does lead to, I mean, we have seen people who've got nothing but chocolate cereals, white bread, Nutella spread, and basically everything chocolate. It's just interesting to do it and do it without judging people
who've only had like alcohol and meat.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
But it is just interesting to be a nosy Parker and see how other people live. And I have to say, and I was telling this lady the story this morning, I said, I have to say to you that if I think about what Joe tells me is in other people's trolleys, in my mind, I'm going, don't eat that, don't eat that, don't eat that. You know, he might say, pots of joy, don't eat that, white bread, don't eat that, crisps, don't eat that. And it made me stop and think when I was talking to the lady this morning, what do I eat? And one or two of my friends would say to me sometimes, you are extreme. I don't think I'm extreme. I'm not extreme in a way that it affects them. I would say 75% of what I eat is vegetables. 10% of what I eat is fruit. And the other 15% is my sins. So my sushi, or like when I went to the garden centre this week, I had a nice big scone as part of my sins. Extra cheese, extra milk. I can't think off the top of my head. Peanut butter, whatever I have my sins on. Almond butter.
Sushi mainly.
Sushi mainly. Quite a lot of sushi.
Sometimes extra goat's milk.
Yeah, extra goat's milk. Because I have between 5 and 10 sins a day, that's not restrictive for me. Because like yesterday, I had one of these packs of sushi and a 3-sin pack of sushi. With a huge bowl of...
No, it was 2 of those.
No, I'm just going to say, before I finally decided to have 2 of these, I had one of these and a 3-sin pack of sushi. I had a big bowl of butter bean and vegetable curry. I had a big slice of watermelon. And then I thought, hang on a minute, that's 4 sins for the day. I've got to have 5. Because Slimming World says 5 to 15, I never ever go below the 5. So then I had to go and get another one of these to put it up. So I ended up having 5, 10, 14 pieces of sushi for 5 sins. And I could live on sushi, I love it. But I think the point I'm making is that the vast majority of my food today comes from fruit and vegetables and using them in different forms. And if somebody thought that was extreme, well, for me today it isn't. It's quite normal. I know I make very, very different choices, but it isn't because I can't have those things that are in that lady's trolley. Yeah, I could have white bread if I wanted to sin it. Yeah, I could have pots of joy or pots of chocolate, whatever they're called, if I wanted to sin them. I could have crisps if I wanted to sin them, pizza, white sugar, all the other things that are in people's trolleys. Nothing is forbidden. And I think for me that's what gives me the freedom in this plan. Because if somebody told me that those things were forbidden or were restricted, that's when the rebel in me comes out, and that's when I feel like I've got to have them. And I know today that because I can have them doesn't mean I have to have them. They'll be there again tomorrow. I can have them tomorrow if I want them tomorrow. And it's a lovely place to get to, not feeling restricted in any way. I can honestly say that this week I have eaten well every day. I never feel restricted. I never, and I mean never, in quotes, never feel hungry. And that's a good thing for me because I can't cope with hunger pangs. If I once felt hungry, I'd be in the cupboard stuffing my face with something. That's why I eat 3 big meals a day, 3 generous meals a day. But as I say, the vast majority of what's in my meals is vegetable based. And I'm loving it. I don't eat very much meat today. This is personal choice. When we do buy meat for our consumption, we buy grass fed. And Joe doesn't eat meat every day, do you?
No.
And it actually is a boost for me as a person who would have eaten meat 3 or 4 times every day at one stage in my life. As a person who's also been a vegan, been a vegetarian. I was a vegetarian for 10 years. I look at it now and I think, what I've got is choice. But because I can have it, doesn't mean I have to have it. So, have I eaten meat this week? No.
Only eggs, if you count that.
Yeah, I've eaten eggs. I've eaten sushi with some tuna in it.
Oh, you have? Had a little bit of my fillet steak.
Oh yeah, I ate the end off Joe's fillet steak because he was just proving to me how perfectly he'd cooked it. If you want a rare fillet steak, he's your man. You cut the end off and forced me to eat it nearly, didn't you?
I did.
Because you just wanted me to experience how nice it was. So yeah, I have eaten meat this week.
But only one bite because you wouldn't take the second bit, would you?
No, because I finished eating that day. But it's about choice for me. And if I wanted to, this afternoon, I could go out and have anything I like. And because I can, as I say, it doesn't mean I have to, it doesn't mean I need to. And I love that feeling. Because for far too many years in my life, food dominated everything. It was my every thought, it was my every wish, it was my every dream, it was my every desire, it was my every obsession. I couldn't get through a minute of any day without thinking about food. And today I can. And I don't think about food in between meals, I just enjoy my meals. And it's the power of this plan when it moves from being a diet to becoming a lifestyle. And I want to do a video about that one day. I want to do a video explaining for me how it moved from being a diet for me. When I first came to Slimming World, I was on a diet. I had to be because it had to be different from what I did before I came here. And how it has moved from that to becoming a lifestyle. Because I do think it's very confusing when people keep saying this is not a diet, it's a lifestyle without actually explaining why they believe that. So I will make a video about that one day when I've got time, about what that means to me. But yeah, the freedom of living on this plan. And when the lady said, now you're at Target for quite some time, do you eat like a normal person? Nope. And I'm proud of it. Because the normal person that was me, as an obese or morbidly obese, as a 22 stone person, if that's eating normally, I don't want a bar of it. That's what I thought was normal, just to have what you wanted when you wanted it, instant gratification. And today all of that has gone, and I've got a lovely healthy relationship with food that keeps me going on a daily basis, keeps me excited.
Buy nice clothes as well.
That takes me on to my next thing, Joe. Lets me buy nice clothes. Went into town yesterday with Joe, and I had some money that had been given me as a gift. And I wanted to buy myself something I would say of quality. I'm choosing today to be more discerning. I'm trying to be more discerning about the clothes I buy. Purely because when I first got to what I call a slim normal size, I would buy anything that fit me because I was still in that kind of thinking. When I was at my biggest, if it fit me, I bought it because I didn't have the choice to say, no, I won't have that, I'll have this. Sometimes it felt like that was all there was. It fits you, so you have to have it. When I first got down to a slimmer size, I think I was still operating on those thoughts and feelings. So if I went into a shop, let's say I went into Next and a top fit me and it said it was a size 14, I'd buy it. I'm now moving into a stage where I'm a bit more discerning. I can put something on, it fits me, I'll make a decision. And I said it to Joe yesterday, when you put on, I don't know if other people experience this, but when you put on an article of clothing that fits you well, you know it's yours. So I went into a changing room yesterday and I put on a top in Fat Face and it was nice, it was a nice top, but it wasn't mine because it fit me, but it didn't feel like it was mine because it didn't fit me 100% properly. And I walked out the changing room and I said to Joe, that's not for me. It's really nice, but it's not for me. Went across the road to one of my favourite shops, which is the White Company, and picked up 2 tops off the rail with Joe's help because he knows the sort of thing I'd like to try, and he actually selected 2 tops. Walked into the dressing room with them, came home with them. Yeah. Just do an unboxing of my 2 tops. What I want to say about this is moving on from that place where because it fits me I've got to have it to a place where I like the way it feels, it fits me properly, it feels like nice quality, it makes me feel good about being me. And that's what I felt yesterday when I tried these 2 tops on in the White Company. And I'll show you what I bought because lots of people do unboxing or clothes hauls, but this is what I bought yesterday. This is the first top, which is, I don't know if it comes across on camera. Can you see that, Joe?
Hold it a bit closer to your face.
To my face.
Yeah.
Right. It's navy, very dark navy, yeah?
Yeah, very dark navy.
Very plain, beautiful, beautiful fabric. And the sleeves just have, I don't know what you call it.
It's like embroidered perforations in like patterns.
Olive, if you're watching, tell me what you call this bit on the sleeve. Olive gives me some lovely clothes thoughts. But it's just very plain, nice length, hip length. But the detail on the sleeve just makes it feel, I mean the quality of the fabric is beautiful, and that slightly heavier detail on the sleeve just makes it feel so nice. And it's one of those tops that just glides over your body and is really forgiving, doesn't show any lumps or any bumps. Oh, and one of the nice things about this top is size 10. Now, if somebody had told me when I was starting this journey at a size 26 and bursting out of my clothes that I would ever be a size 10, I wouldn't have believed it. Show you the second top. Again, picked by Joe because he's got a good idea what I actually enjoy. Again in a size 10, which blows my mind. This is navy. I don't know if it comes across on the camera. This is navy and white, and the sleeve, a little bit of detail again, as in the stripe starts to go the other way. It just gives it a bit of interest, I think.
It's a bit of a longer sleeve as well. It goes all the way
It
down
goes to the
your
elbow. Yeah, which is longer than I usually wear, isn't it? But it looks nice on, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And it's another one of those tops where the quality of the fabric literally skims your body, and so that it doesn't cling to any of those little wobbly bits or bumpy bits. Nice, I like a nice round neckline, so yeah, I'm really loving those. As I say, they were a gift from a friend and I'm very grateful. I actually am enjoying buying clothes and calming down a bit in what I buy, being a bit more discerning, and it's making it a pleasurable experience. Don't drag Joe into as many shops these days, do I? and moan about the fact that things don't fit me. So it's been a lovely week, and we've been really blessed this week by people's generosity and kindness. And I will say that making videos on here and like putting your life out there for people to see has been a really rewarding thing, because we've made friends literally around the world now, and it's just a joy to get to know people, and just in the hope that something I might say might just help somebody to realise they're not alone, that other people feel that way, or it might just help somebody to understand, you know, what losing weight is about, because they've got a loved one who's trying really hard. And some things I might say people would disagree with, and again, that's fine. I would love it if people came back and said, you know, I actually don't find that to be true for me, this is true for me, because it gets discussion going, gets conversation going, or debate even. It's healthy to share our stories and our experiences in that way. I'm really, really positive about that. So yeah.
We try to kind of make a point of not telling you how to do it.
Yeah, it's not about me telling anybody else how to do this, because I would never be told how to do it. I had to find my own way. And I think that's true for most people. It's good to see other people's experiences. I get a lot from watching other people's YouTube channels and listening to their experience and things that's happened to them this week, and stumbling blocks and things like that. And I've learned an awful lot from some really precious people on YouTube. But at the end of the day, it doesn't always work for somebody else to tell me how to do it, and I would never, hopefully never, be seen to be telling you how to do it. I'm just sharing with you what I've done this week, things I've experienced this week, and if you can relate to it, then that's good. And if you can't, then maybe next week. But whatever, you know, keep going. It's worth it. Because if, as I said earlier in this clip, if somebody had said to me at the start of my journey, from a size 26 and struggling, I could get down to a size 10, I wouldn't have ever believed it. It is beyond my wildest dreams. But now I'm here, I'm going to do my very best to stay here. And if that involves, you know, eating the way I choose to eat today, which is good and healthy for me, then that works for me. Somebody said something to me that was really interesting the other day. In the company of another friend, they said, "You're too thin, you're getting too thin." And my dear friend who was with me immediately jumped to my defence, and in a very nice way she said, "Hang on a minute, we've all known each other for years. You're judging Jane and saying she's too thin. Can I just put to you that she's thin for Jane? She's not thin by your standards, because you are thinner." But she said, "You've been used to a girl who was, you know, size 26, 22 stone. You've not seen her for 2 years, and now you're saying she's too thin." Well, actually she isn't. She's just thinner than she used to be. And I was really grateful for that person coming to my defence, because when people say things like that, I think it can be quite soul destroying. And be mindful, if you've got somebody in your family who's losing weight, be mindful about things like that, because you can knock somebody off the wagon with a comment like that. And I think if my friend hadn't been there to jump to my defence, that could have been quite damaging, because I'm not too thin. There are a lot of people out there who are an awful lot thinner than me, and healthy. So I'm fine where I'm at, and I'm grateful to be here. Thanks for watching. Sorry if I've waffled, but can I just say, next week we may not upload until Sunday, because we're very busy on Saturday. So hopefully see you next Sunday. Have a great week. And remember, it works if you work it, it won't if you don't. Cheers.